back with 3 new topics, which is very important to go over. Let's talk about it. Let me take a sip of my water, and then we're going to talk about it. All right, y'all boys. First topic, how you can influence people without big numbers. This is a very interesting one. This is because people think that in order for people to listen to you, you need big numbers. Yo, Venom X6F. Oh yeah, by the way, you're not Venom, bro. I have to let you know you're not Venom. You're not the actual Venom. All right. Number 2, why believing in you matters more than belief in reality. Also, chat, if you see me looking down, it's because I have my notes. Oh dang, it needs to actually focus. There we go. Yeah, I have my notes right here. So that's basically, I write my points. Anyway, number 3, we're going to be talking about a girl from Fresh and Fit. Now, this one is interesting because when I was watching Fresh and Fit yesterday, this girl was saying that basically every other race can be racist. However, black people cannot be racist. Oh my. Oh my. Where the heck did she get this teaching from? Oof. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dive into these subjects. Or I might not get to that one, but we'll definitely make a part 2 if I don't get to it today. Oh my. Well, whew. What is this world becoming? All right, first step, how you can influence people without big numbers. First, let me tell you why you can influence people without big numbers. This is because influence is very simple. Influence is when you speak, people listen. You don't need followers for you to have authority, for you to have conviction in what you genuinely believe in. You don't. You can influence a small circle. You can influence your friends. Maybe you have family members you can influence. You don't have to have big numbers. However, many gurus will say, "Oh, you got to grow your presence," which is true. You do have to grow your presence, but don't think you need a big presence to get good stuff in your life, to get influence, etc. Now, I know people are going to be asking, well, which goes back to my question: how can you influence people without big numbers? Well, and this kind of gets into the second point I'm going to be talking about. You need to believe in yourself. If you want to start influencing other people, you have to believe in you before you can start putting worldviews or instilling your worldview into others. Because if you want to have influence without numbers, which you can do that, then you have to believe in yourself first. Oh, what's good, Savannah? What's good? You have to believe in yourself first. That's the only way it's going to happen. Now, that's the first step to how you can influence people without big numbers. 2, if you want to influence people, you need to work on your speaking. You need to know how to talk. What's crazy is that it's not even about you ever hear people say it's not what you say, it's how you make someone feel when you say it. I could say the same line. Look, I could literally be talking to y'all in 2 different tones, right? One tone can be like this, right? Let me go and pick some up real quick for an example. If I tell you guys to buy this, right? But I say it in an unconfident way. I say, maybe you should buy this. I don't know. You're not gonna buy it. However, if I say you should buy this Vaseline, it will stop you from having your lips crusty. You are more likely to buy because you sound confident. It's not even about what you say, it's about how you say it. You like the hair, appreciate it. Yeah, my hair's in freeform dreads. I'm thinking about getting a retwist once this 3rd year hits because I have a whole lot of growth. So I'm really thinking about getting a retwist. I'm not gonna lie. It's that I definitely no, it's definitely about that time. But yeah. But yeah, you have to believe it in yourself. You can make mundane stuff sound interesting if you know how to speak. When you know how to speak, you can start influencing people without props, without big numbers. You have to know how to speak. So you can barely see her. Well, I guess she's talking about she can see. I don't know. But yeah, also going into the book, The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. Yo, definitely recommend you guys read that book. In that book, it says people don't need to believe what you're saying. They just have to believe that you believe what you're saying, which is why confidence and conviction sells. You look like a grown man. That's good. I'm giving off maturity. I know, bro, my hair is actually growing, bro, because I'm like, where the heck did all this growth come from? Like, my hair is just growing incredibly fast. But yeah, you don't have to, the people that you are influencing don't even have to believe what you're saying. They just have to believe that you believe what you are saying. What's good, Ryan? You look 30. What do you mean 30? Wait, do I look 30? Nah, I do not look 30. I do not look 30. At least I look about, all right, let's say 21, 22, but 30 is crazy right now. I haven't even reached 30 yet. But yeah, guys, that's how y'all can influence people. Work on y'all speaking. Make sure y'all know how to communicate, bro. There isn't that one domain on earth that's important that doesn't require you to speak. You got to know how to speak to people. No, you look 19. Thank you. See, that's what I'm saying. Your face looks young though, kid. You just said I look 30. You just said I look 30. No. Now I feel like if you're older, you want to look younger. It's like even if you're actually 40, you want to look like you're like 35, 30. Stuff like that. Next, all right, we're gonna be talking about, and this actually ties into the first point. We're gonna be talking about why belief in you matters more than belief in reality. So just know that if you are in a bad scenario in life right now, and you're trying to make it in life, and you got all these goals and aspirations, bro. People don't care about what you plan to do, bro. People, like, if you are in a shit scenario, people are gonna say, man, his dreams are retarded, or his dreams are stupid. Now they might not say it to you, but they definitely thinking that, bro. I promise you. They're not taking you seriously, bro. If you at the bottom with no money, no resources, no car, barely any clothes, and you saying that you are gonna one day be rich, ain't nobody finna believe you. No one's gonna believe you until you actually do it. Once you do it, only then will people be like, damn, like he actually did it or she actually did it. Yeah, now they believe it, but they ain't gonna believe you in the process. Sorry, gotta go. Oh, no, that's good. You're good, Savannah. Have a good rest of your day. Yeah, which is why belief in you matters more than belief in reality. Do not let your circumstances define who you are. I feel as if many people get lost in that cycle where because you're in a bad scenario right now, that defines who you are. No, the heck it doesn't. Sometimes it's not even your fault you in that scenario. Maybe it's your parents. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it is. Maybe you are the reason why you're in that scenario. I don't know. However, do not let that scenario define who you are. This is why you got to build internal confidence as well. When you can build from within, that's when you start believing in you way more. You cannot be your belief or your confidence cannot come from external things. It cannot come from that. What's good, Derice Barnhill? What's good? Yo, love the live. Appreciate it, man. Make sure y'all guys like, comment, subscribe. What's good? Tammy Fulton 1478. What's good with y'all, man? But yeah, basically explaining to y'all, like, do not, like, when y'all have confidence, bro, and make sure that y'all confidence comes from discipline and not ego. Please make sure that when you have confidence, it comes from discipline and not ego. Ego will never leave you fulfilled. And this goes back to the second point, why belief in yourself matters more than the belief in your realities, because just because your reality looks shit, that doesn't mean your mindset has to be shit. That does not mean your mindset has to be shit. You did like, sub, and comment. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everyone who's like, commenting, and subscribing. But yeah, I had to give y'all the real game. Like, y'all could be in a bad scenario, but you could have a good mindset, bro. Make sure your mindset is good. You can always overcome it, bro. Do not let your situation define who you are. And many people who are at the bottom, they will define you by where you're at. They'll be like, oh, that's the kid going through this right now. You can't do that. Don't even listen to him, bro. Just keep your head down, keep on grinding, because only then when you have results, only then, and they cannot doubt you anymore. And they're gonna always talk, by the way, too. This is why you got to believe in yourself, bro. This is why you need to build internal confidence. People are gonna talk either way. When you're at the bottom, they're gonna say, "Oh, you can never do that." And then when you get to the top, they say, "He got lucky." Oh, he had to do some type of criminal activity. Oh, now it's that. It wasn't that at the bottom. Shout out to Lamont. It's actually funny, but yeah, shout out to Lamont. They'll always talk. They'll either talk behind your back or they'll say it in their head. They will not believe in you. Yeah, bro. People are not going to believe you when you're at the bottom, bro, because based on your circumstance or your reality, which let's say you ain't got no money, let's say you ain't got no house, ain't nobody finna see you as getting rich, bro. No one's gonna believe you. This is why you gotta move in silence, bro. Be quiet, bro. Do not broadcast your moves. However, we have to understand why people even broadcast their moves in the first place. Why do people feel the need to always broadcast everything or post everything? Well, it's because the world teaches you this. The world teaches you it. School teaches you to seek validation. I see why people seek validation. It's not their fault. They was taught this. And what you're taught, you're just gonna live by. It's as simple as that. Exactly. It wasn't he got lucky when he was poor. It was, oh, you'll never get there. Now that they've made it, it's, oh, he got lucky. Like, shut up. No, exactly. This is exactly the truth. It wasn't, oh, he got lucky when he was poor. It wasn't any of that. But now since he made it, oh, it's, oh, he got lucky, or he had to do some criminal activity, or he had to be racist, or like they make up any excuse just because they don't want to accept that you got rich legally from the bottom. This is because if they have to accept that you got rich legally from the bottom, then they have to come to reality with themselves, and they have to accept that the reality, all the lessons that they know, is a lie. And that's why people like to project their insecurities and all their bad stuff onto you. It's not because you're a bad person. It's because if they don't do that, well, then they got to accept their harsh reality, and they don't want to do that. So if y'all see people project insecurities, ain't nothing on you, bro. It's really on them. But they'll have you think that it's on you. It's not on you, bro. Okay, got to go for real this time. All right. Bye, Savannah. Have a good day. So true. Dang, man. People never say this. How are people famous nowadays? They have no value. Bro, I know, like, they don't really, like, that's how I know I can get famous. Like, and it's not even because of, oh, starting YouTube. Is because, bro, when I say valuable stuff, like, this is stuff that I'm talking from where you don't need money, you don't need finances, you don't need any of that to start applying what I'm teaching. See, most people like Andrew Tate and all them, they'd be like, oh, you have to buy fast cars. Bro, what about the people at the bottom who can't buy fast cars? What can they do? So I talk to the people at the bottom too, because it's the hardest for them. Like, they can't buy no supercar, but you can build internal confidence, because that doesn't require anything. It doesn't require any money. What it does require is you to accept the harsh realities, and it requires you to be in solitude. Solitude is not weakness. Solitude is a greatness. Actually, it's actually the complete opposite. Because when you're sitting there by yourself, you have no choice but to accept the harsh realities of the earth and the world. You have no choice but to accept. That's perfect. Because now you get to sit there and be like, okay, this happened. How do I make sure that doesn't happen? Why did it happen? Where did it happen? You want to know what's crazy? One of the realest stuff I can say I took from school was when in reading class, they used to say who, what, when, where, and why. Yes, those are perfect. Who did it? What did it? Where? When? And most importantly, why? I'm telling you, when you start questioning it, you will then understand the realities. You start to pull the mask that's been hidden from you. I'm telling you, man, belief in you matters way more than the belief in reality. You guys need to believe in yourself. You have to believe. Even if it looks like you're not going to make it, you have to believe. The first step to breaking out is to question, right? Which is why they don't want you to question. This is because it's only when you question that you then say, it's like finally the light bulb that's been off by the system, it's finally turned on. It's clicked. When you start questioning, the light bulb finally turns on. You're like, that makes sense. And I'm gonna say here, right here, right now, bro, you can more learn from TV shows, from movies than you ever could in school. That's if you extract lessons from it. Let me make that clear, because I know most people be like, they didn't learn anything. Well, was you trying to extract any lessons from it? No. Whoo! And even going back to the first point, right, on how you can influence people without big numbers, bro. Jesus didn't have big numbers at all. Jesus didn't have any clout. Jesus didn't have any fast cars. Jesus didn't have what the red pill community calls being successful. Yet people still mention his name. Interesting. Why do people still mention his name? He never had a single. He didn't have a single fast car. He didn't flex one time. He just came with conviction. God put him on the planet, and Jesus was like, he is the way, the truth, and the light. Follow him. like when he said that caused controversy. There goes the influence right there. He had presence. So if you loved him, if you hated him, it didn't matter how many times that you beat him. It didn't matter. He was always talked about. Always talked about. It didn't matter. And he still talked about today, to this day. He will never, ever stop getting talked about. It doesn't matter if the internet exists. It doesn't matter what happens on earth. You will always hear the name Jesus Christ. I can guarantee that. And yet he said he is the Alpha. That's what I'm saying. They say you need fast cars to be an alpha. See, that's the problem. Just because, so you mean to tell me that your worth is tied to cars? So if those cars hypothetically get stripped away from you, you don't have any more influence. You're not confident anymore. That is the confidence that you built? No, that's the wrong type of confidence to build. You need to build within. That's the thing, though. Internal confidence takes way more strength and resilience. And you have to be in the right headspace to want to build internal confidence. And you can't have external validation. You just can't. They build external confidence. Me and you build internal confidence. I know. That's what I'm saying. I can actually tell I built internal confidence. I remember one day when I was coming back from school, I was like, bro, like the reason why I post is not to get likes. Like, I don't post on Instagram or on TikTok to get likes. I could care less if I get 0 likes. Oh, well, I'm posting because this is my truth. Like, if I post something that says grind in silence, I don't care about the likes. So if I get 0 likes, oh, well. But that's because I'm so within myself. Most people post because they want to be seen. They want to have the attention. But why do they want to have the attention? Because school has been teaching to seek external validation. School also teaches that if you do good, that you'll receive good. This is why people say, oh, but they are morally good. It doesn't matter if you're morally good. That does not matter. But see, school does not teach this, man. They don't teach this. All right, let's talk a little bit about the girl from Fresh and Fit. Basically, this girl from Fresh and Fit was saying that Black people cannot be racist. Now, you're probably wondering and asking, where did she get this from? She said that she got this from her colleagues in college. So she got it from college. That doesn't make any sense. Anybody can be racist. And then she's saying, oh, Black people can't be racist because they are a minority of people. What are you, oh my gosh, bro. What are you talking about? What are you genuinely, what? Okay, so basically, your point is, what her point is that if I grab her chips and I open the bag a little bit, oh, I didn't open it. I didn't open it. I opened it a little bit, but I didn't open it. That's basically what her point is. She's saying, well, Blacks are the minority, so they can't be racist. What? Okay, so if I break your TV even just a little bit, I'd be like, I didn't break the TV. Nah, you would still say you broke the TV. Exactly my oh my. Don't Black people have the most kids talking about some minority? I know. That's what she was saying, though. That didn't really make sense. She actually considered Myron and Fresh Black. I figured she would know that Fresh is black, but Myron's in the middle. Tate, he tries too hard. Tate might as well just be pro white. Cause like, bro, like, he's not black. Like, he tries too hard to be black. You want to actually know another thing, right? Bro, most black people don't even say the hard R, to be honest. So it's like people like Tate who says it the most. Like, you're not black. Like, just stop. He's not black. He says he got his black card. I know, bro. It's not even black, bro. Trying too hard, bro. Like, you can tell when someone's trying, but he's trying too hard. Like, bro, it's okay, bro. If you were born white or kind of mixed, okay, it's fine. You don't have to be fully black, bro. It's all good. Oof, man. But yeah, oh yes, this is a whole nother point. from these girls from Fresh and Fit, right? So basically, they were saying black people, right? They were saying, oh, but it's not fair because black people are a product of their environments, right? Which is true. I'm not saying that's not true. Myron didn't say that's not true. However, Myron said, okay, let's put that reason or that excuse that people are a product of their environment. By the way, if you don't know what that is, basically it's basically them saying, oh, they do this bad stuff because they're a product of their environment. That's what they see. Okay, well, let's put it into perspective. Myron said, okay, if a man that's a product of his environment punches you, slaps you, takes your purse, then you don't get any of those things back. Yet the police comes to the girl who got slapped, who got punched, who got her bags taken away, and the police say, oh, they're not gonna arrest him because he's a product of the environment. All the girls was like, no, arrest him. Okay, then. Well, then that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse to be a product of your environment. Then I know. Hey, Myron kind of got him right there. I can't lie. Nah, it's true. And anyway, the law doesn't care if you're a product of your environment. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, you can grow up in it, but I mean, if you're 18, 19, you commit a crime, the law don't care. The law isn't for to say that. That actually be funny if someone like steals and robs from the bank and then the judge is like, this person is a product of his environment, let him go. Bro, everyone in that courtroom gonna be like, the hell do you mean let him go? Oh my. The judge is gonna be like, let him free. He's a product of his environment. He did commit these crimes, but he's a product of his environment. The jail system wouldn't exist if they did that. The jail system would not exist if they said, oh, he's a product of his environment. You are not a product of your environment, and if me and you weren't, then there's no excuse. Exactly, bro. And this is the thing. Like, the law don't care if you're a product of your environment. I mean, you still decide to make this choice. Everything is choice. So I was like, but I do see when people do say a product of the environment. I do get that because that can influence how you act, which is true. However, it's gonna be hard for you to break out of it, but you just have to find some way. It's gonna be hard though. The real rich fam, cake sweet, cause and effects. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Cause and effect. Like, if you do this, even though you're a product of your environment, like, you're still gonna go to jail. Like, the government don't care. Systems don't care. The jail systems, they don't care. They're still gonna arrest you or put you on house arrest or something. They don't care that you're a product of your environment. However, the woman was saying, oh, but it's not fair because these men and women, they're a product of their environments. But if someone took some from you and they were able to be free because they're a product of your environment, you wouldn't want that. Exactly. You always have a choice. You might be a product of your environment, but that's no excuse. It's still your choice. You chose. I know. And it's still choice. You make the product you are. That's another point. And then Venom, when you said you still, like, you choose to do it right, like, you still choose, like, you still, like, nobody forced you to do it. And it's kind of hard to break out of it because, like, if you're like, if that's all you see is game being, it's like you gonna do it, but it's still your choice. And I know it's hard, but it's just like, it just depends, bro. It really just depends who your family is, man. Because I'm not really gonna sit here and get mad at the people who are product of their environments because, bro, that's all they know, bro. However, You just have to get out of that lifestyle, and most of them aren't willing to do that. So now they got to suffer the consequences of that. You know, it's all like Cake Sweet said. It's all cause and effect. Change behavior, exactly. Change your behavior, but most of them don't want to do that. They want to blame outside sources. Oh, it's this or it's this or it's the government. No, it's you. I'm telling you, Myron's not lying. It's you. Trust me. It's you. It's not that you lack money. It's not that. It's you, bro. Change the way you think. You could be in a low income scenario. That's fine. You can't change that, but you could change how you think, bro. You can change how you view the world. Most people don't know how to take accountability. I'm sure they don't even like that word. Nah, for real. Because you know why? You know why? Because when you take accountability, you have to accept that you've been living under a lie, bro. That's why people don't want to accept accountability. Because their families have been telling them, oh, money is a curse. Don't chase money. Bro, the reason why you're in a low income house in the first place is because of money. Like, you have to have money. Let's not act like you could just live a good life without money. No, you cannot. You need money. Like, bro, like, I don't understand why they say that. Like, bro, the reason why you're in there is because of money. The reason why you have food on the table is to a degree because of money. Now, look, even if it's not your money, even if it's EBT, that's still money. That is still money. So even if you're on EBT, that's still some form of money. It's just not your money, but it's some form of money. Exactly my point. You need money. So let's not act like it's some curse. If it was really a curse, you wouldn't be spending it on food. If it was so bad, people claim it's bad, but they use it every day. Like, it must not be that bad. They say, oh, money is the root of all evil. So you want to have no money and be homeless. I know. No. It must not be that bad. Cause like you use it every day, or every time you want some, you use money. It must not be that bad. And these same people who say root is the all good of it, root is the root of all evil. I'll be like, I mean, you're in a house because of money. And you know damn well you still gonna sleep in that bed where that house is. That required someone in your family to make money. So money must not be that bad. Now, it's not the money in it of itself that is good or bad. It's what people decide to spend it on or use it with that determines if the money is used in a good or bad way. It's a curse if you don't have it. Age with the evil if you don't have money. The clothes you are wearing is because of money. That's what I'm saying. Even the clothes. If you're able to comment money's the root of all evil, then that's money. Because you have to have an electronic. Those ain't free. Those aren't free. So, like, yes, you need money. I'm not saying you have to be rich. I'm not saying that. But you need money. To even just survive, you need money. Even if you're on Medi-Cal, Medicaid, or EBT, that still requires money. That money's coming from somewhere. So it's still money. You still need money. Even if you eat. That's evil to say money is evil. Yeah. And I would even say, like, even if you're in a scenario where you can receive free money, or not free money, my bad, free food. That free food that you got, even though you didn't have to pay for it, someone had to pay for it in order for you to get it for free. Like, it doesn't, bro. Somebody had to either make the food, and even for them to make the food, you had to pay for it. So, like, bro, all of it requires money. Because I know some people say, oh, but I mean, there is some people, they get food for free. Yeah, they might have got it for free. But in order for them to get it for free, someone have had to pay for it first. Like, nothing's just magically free. Shoot, I wish. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, if school is more taught about this, but there'd be so many more people who just understand the world more. School don't really teach you about the world ahead, bro. It don't. It don't teach about like how life is after school. School does not teach that stuff. School don't teach you how to have self control. School don't teach you this stuff, bro. School be teaching you to seek approval, to raise your hand if you have to go to the bathroom, and they'll have you think that a grade letter is so important, bro. Like a grade letter, bro. No, why would you? Why, bro? Because what I realize is they have kids think that if you have an A, you're smart, and if you have an F, you're somehow dumb. You're not dumb. You are not dumb because I guarantee all of your interests. Like let's say you're getting all F's in school, but after school you like watching Beyblade. I guarantee if there was a Beyblade test, you would pass it because you're interested in that. Or it's less confusing. It's not as confusing. That don't mean you stupid, but they'll have you think, oh, you dumb, or look at you got an F. That's the wrong mindset. Ain't no A finna save you from the real world. You guarantee it was a broke person who couldn't take accountability and saw a rich man. And because of his lack of accountability, you said money is the root of all evil. And Lamont, you made a very good point. It more than likely was a broke person. You want to know why he said that? Let me explain to y'all why. Because Venom has a great point. The reason why is because it's way easier to say, "Oh, money's the root of all evil," than to accept you've been tricked, you've been lied to this whole time. Because that's harsh, and people don't like the harsh stuff. But that's the only thing that will wake you up. Softening the truth or ignoring the truth doesn't make the truth hidden. It just makes it hurt more when you keep on hearing it. Softening the truth is not going to better you. It's not going to free you. It's going to keep you in mental chains. And mental chains, that's what I'm saying. The system, they don't even have to physically arrest you. They just have to keep you mentally arrested. That's how the system goes, man. Your mindset dictates your actions. He said a brokey said that. Yo, that's tough, bro. It's free game, bro. People don't even understand. Like honestly, though, they don't have to physically lock you up, but they make it seem like you have freedom. For example, oh, well, you're working Monday through Friday. Like same thing with school, but don't worry, Saturdays and Sundays, you're off. They make you seem like you have freedom, which is why they do that, because they know if they have you work Monday to Sunday, you're gonna be like, man, there ain't no freedom. But they allow you to have little freedom, so that it looks like you have freedom, when in reality you're still on a hamster wheel that's disguised as freedom. Hold on, real quick. All right, I'm back. But yeah, guys. Sorry, there was a phone that was ringing. I had to get it real quick. But yeah, guys. I mean, it's like honestly, bro. It's true, bro. And even these people on TikTok, some people on TikTok are starting to wake up. Like they don't want to work a job, bro. They don't want to do that. They want to have freedom, bro. They want to be able to go where they want, bro, whenever they want. Which is why you have to do the hard stuff now. Because at some point, you're gonna have to do something hard. Either you're gonna work and you're gonna build a business, you're gonna build something for yourself, or you're gonna have to work hard at that job. You're gonna have to put in hours you don't want to put in. But you have to decide what you want to do. So you either gonna do the hard stuff now so that in your future years you can live easier, or you're gonna be comfortable now, and then you got to live even harder as the years go. Because I'm telling you, and I posted this on my Twitter. Time ain't waiting for nobody, bro. Ain't waiting for me. Ain't waiting for you. Ain't waiting for nobody. Time ain't waiting. So time don't care. So if time don't care, why should you care? Because time ain't gonna stop for you. Time is a constant cycle. It's going 24/7. Time moving right now. Time ain't gonna wait for you. Nobody's waiting for you. So you got to do whatever you got to do right now, bro. Just do it. Even if it's small, bro. Start doing stuff now, because prices don't care. Prices are going to keep on inflating. Inflation don't care. The rich don't care. So why should you care? Come on, man. But most people, they don't want to accept this because it's harsh. And I understand. I'm not saying it's not harsh. Oh, it is harsh. But it should be harsh. Because the stuff that makes you uncomfortable, once you can accept it, will help you grow. Comfortability does not help you grow. It's only when you're uncomfortable that you can grow. This is why the harsh truth. I love hearing the harsh truth. Let me know, bro. Anything that's harsh, let me know, bro. Because you need the harsh stuff. That's how are you gonna grow? But yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end live right now, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be live. Let me see. What's today? Oh yeah, no. We'll go ahead and be live tomorrow. We'll be live tomorrow. All right, guys. Peace.